guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy JD. I miss you guys. So this is gonna be the quick recipe for my stuffed shells that will be in my cookbook, dropping very soon. So I boiled the shells. I cooked my ground beef with all the seasonings, some onion powder, some salt-free seasoning, you know, some parsley and Italian seasoning. So I got my water. This is going to be for my cheese roux that I'm going to put in here. So I got my heavy whipping cream and a little bit of milk, and I threw in all the seasonings that I seasoned the ground beef with. And then this is just me stirring the pot. You want to make sure you stir it, bring that to a good boil, and then you want to just add your cheese in slowly. But as you add your cheese in, you want to make sure you whisk it up because you don't want any clumps of cheese in this. You want a nice smooth sauce. So as you add the cheese in, make sure you're whipping it all together and add the cheese in slowly. You want to make sure you reduce the heat because you do not want this to burn. Because then if you burn, then you got to start all over again. So you're just going to add the cheese, and you're just going to add your desired amount of cheese. I'll give all the measurements and everything in my cookbook. So y'all want to make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But, you know, make sure you're whisking it constantly. You don't want it to get too thick, but you also don't want it to burn. So you want to make sure you're watching it. And just add cheese as you go if you don't think it's enough. That's like all up to you, but I'll give you all the measurements in the cookbook, so make sure y'all go grab that when it drops. But this is me just stirring it, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more cheese in there. But this is just for me personally. I like a little bit of extra cheese. So if you don't and you're lactose intolerant, you might want to stay away from this recipe. But you know, to each his own. Guys, before I begin to this, I just want to say I love you guys, and I miss coming on here to upload. So I'm grateful that you guys are holding me down. But that's the kind of like the consistency that you want. I'm going to give y'all a close-up of it also, because you want to make sure you have a good thick consistency, but it's not too thick. You know, you want to make sure it looks, you know, nice and good. I'm sitting here turning down the heat a little bit more because I had it up a little bit too high. And that's, you know, you just want to continue to keep, you know, make sure you see the consistency. So this is me turning it off. This is the close-up. This is kind of the consistency that you want. But for me, I add a little bit more cheese in there to thicken it up a little bit more. You know, this is for the non-lactose intolerant people. You know, I'm going to add the cheese in there. You can never have too much cheese. So if you think it's too much cheese, you know, you can always modify the recipe. But, you know, that's to each his own. That's how you see how it's looking. It's looking like nice and combined, put together and everything. You know, you could tell that that's going to be good. And any recipe in the JDA's Experience cookbook is going to be 5 out of 5. So it's going to bust down. So y'all better go grab it when it comes out. But guys, we're just going to continue to keep whisking it. And you do not want to over whisk it, but you want to make sure you're paying attention and you're on top of that. So I already boiled my noodles. I got the sauce. I stuffed it. So now I'm going to just pour the cheese sauce on top of the noodles. And then also I'm going to add my extra noodles that I had left in the pot. And I'm kind of layering it up, kind of like a lasagna. But you don't necessarily have to do that if that's not what you want. So I put it in the oven for about 45 minutes, and I got me a nice crisp topping. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but this is how I like mine. It's a little bit crunchy on the top. If you want a little bit less crunch, you know, put it in there less. But let's bite into that. Let's get a nice good scoop of that thing. Ooh, y'all see that? That look 5 out of 5. Doesn't that look fire? Go tap into the JDX Experience cookbook right now. I had to go plate that up. And let me tell y'all, that meal was good as hell. It bust down from the gods. And that's just the JDX Experience.